I don't understand when people fuck dogs, but you could see how they would come to that conclusion, right? Like you could this sounds terrible for me. Whoa, Anthony! Fucking what a sick new transition. Oh shit! Fuck! Cunt! Son of a bitch! I gotta cut that. You know what? Fuck! I'm not cutting it out. I'm not restarting. Okay? Everybody makes mistakes. Okay? Everybody makes mistakes in life. All right? I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. How was I supposed to know that the guy under the bridge didn't actually have the Pfizer vaccine? Okay? How the fuck? There's no online forum to let me know that maybe the guy who lives under the bridge with a shopping cart, 8 trench coats, and a lazy eye maybe isn't the most trustworthy fellow. Okay? Okay? I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. Okay? Everybody wants to talk about don't read a book by its cover. I should have at least read the front and back before I went up to this guy and was like, you got Pfizer? I'm trying to get my booster, dude. He's like, you want a boost? Fucking try this. Yeah, fuck, man. Everybody wants to talk about fucking trust, putting trust in others. I put my trust in somebody, and now I'm violently addicted to crack. So fucking, you tell me who I should trust. All right? You tell me, man. Oh, God. What I meant to say at the beginning was I said transition. I didn't mean transition. That's a stupid word that I shouldn't have used there. It was very dumb. What I meant to say was, did you guys like the new intro music? Yes, it's very easy to get the word intro and transition confused, contrary to popular belief. I was going to say, do you guys like the new intro music? And if there is an intro music, then this makes absolutely fucking zero sense to you whatsoever. And if there isn't intro music, don't blame me, blame the government, right? That's so easy. Just another problem arises. It's not Kaz's fault. It's the government's fault. Specifically, who do we want to specifically call up? The IRS. Fuck the IRS. I got to pay my taxes soon. Fuck you, you little bitch. Fuck you. You want my W-2s? Huh? I don't have any W-2s for you. You know what I do got, though? This D2 in my fucking pants. This R2D2, I'll stick it in your mouth. Why don't you fucking gobble my W2s in your jaw? How about you fucking... Okay? I'll send you over that, all right? You want these W2s? Come get this D2. Come get this R2D2 up in your face. Mr. IRS, what does it even fucking stand for, huh? What does that stand for? I'm really fucking stupid? I bet that's what it stands for. Huh? What's it, huh? I'm sorry, what was that? What does it stand for? I rape seagulls? I bet you fuck birds, you weirdo. Fucking creep. Who would actually fuck a bird? That's a weird animal. Like I don't get. Let's not say that. That's going to sound weird. I don't understand when people fuck dogs, but you could see how they would come to that conclusion, right? Like you could, this sounds terrible for me. I don't want to fuck a dog, but like you can understand that, like, technically, from a technical term, dogs also have a penis and or a vagina. Therefore, it would be somewhat the same as a human. So you could understand how somebody very, very weird, how somebody who's very weird and not a normal person and very out of the box and not ordinary and fucked up in the brain would consider fucking a dog. That's all I'm saying. If you put yourself in their shoes, although I would rather not, if you put yourself in their shoes, you could understand how they could come to such a conclusion. Whereas birds, on the other hand, they don't have the same reproductive right. Like they drop eggs. They just have one hole, I believe. Or maybe they also have an asshole. I'm not sure how the bird anatomy works, but nonetheless, they just have that one specific hole to drop eggs out of, which honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not saying I would want to, but if you really think about the makeup of a bird and you think about the hole that they have for the egg to come out, that's a tight hole. And maybe it wouldn't feel so bad. Maybe it would kind of feel kind of good. Maybe the IRS has a good thing going with those seagulls. Maybe it does feel pretty nice. Maybe it feels better than you would expect. You know what I mean? Try everything once, you know? I'm kidding, obviously. I'm kidding. If you didn't know that, all right. If it's your first time here, this is an episode to start with. This is an interesting episode that you started with. But, I mean, nonetheless, just the bottom line here, so that we don't end on me fucking a macaw. The bottom line is that fuck the IRS, right? That's the beauty about free speech, is that I could say that right here on the internet. Free speech, that's the beauty of it. It's also, though, that's also the terrible thing. That's also the hideous thing about free speech. Like, sure, free speech, you could say fuck the IRS. Everybody gets free speech, but at the end of the day, I don't think everybody deserves free speech. You know? Like, some people don't deserve to speak for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't. Sometimes you ever sitting in a conversation with someone and they start talking about something, and then after about 10 seconds you're just like, you should owe me money to say what's coming out of your mouth right now. Like, you shouldn't just be allowed to walk up to anybody and start saying words. You should have to pay a fee. There should be a fee to pay. Somebody comes up to you. Did you hear Bitcoin's down? That's $20. That is $20. Don't even fucking. I don't want to hear it. Okay, shut up. Fucking okay. Look at this cool NFT I bought. Look at it. Look at my monkey. $30. $30, Brent. Give me the $30, Brent. Give me that shit. Fuck. Shut up. God. Anytime someone comes up to you, they're like, hey. I'm like, wait. What's the topic of choice? They're like, I'm mining Bitcoin in my basement. That's 45. That's 45. Let's give me it. Give me it. Fork it up. Okay, and I'll speak. Some people don't deserve to speak freely. You know, some people definitely need to pay a fee before they begin to talk. A lot of people do, to be honest with you. Once again, the beauties and the hideous side of free speech. Everything's got a cost. Whereas on the other hand, you know, China, of course, can't say things like that in China. You know, if you come on here, you go up to someone in China and you're like, hey, did you hear about this new Bitcoin? Next thing you know, your family's like, we haven't seen Elizabeth in 3 weeks. Where did she go? She's in a ditch. She's in a ditch somewhere. I couldn't tell you where, but she's in a ditch and she's no longer breathing. That's okay. That's how it is, man. Also, I just want to throw out there really quick. If you are watching on YouTube, which, by the way, if you didn't know, you could also watch the podcast on YouTube. Just look up Kickin' It with Kaz. Also, make sure to subscribe over on YouTube, of course, and like the video and comment as well. A lot of you don't comment. I don't care if it's a fucking, you know, if you want to be like Kaz, your forehead looks like you look like one of the Kaz. Your face shape is the same as the fucking stones on Easter Island. Fucking say it. I don't give a shit. The more comments, the better. That's all I care about. So like it, comment, and share and shit and like that. But if you're watching on YouTube and you see my fit right now, it did just come to conclude. It came to the forefront of my mind here that I do look a little bit like a dick right now. I'm wearing a somewhat form-fitting black tee, might say. Form-fitting. Looks pretty nice on me, but it does form to the old buys and tries. And at the same time, I am wearing a beanie on top of it, and I have my chain out. So if you're listening and not watching, essentially I look like I just got back from my day job of standing outside of an Abercrombie with my shirt off. That's kind of what I look like. Which, by the way, what happened to those guys? They just flew away. Like one day there was fucking Chad and Brad outside of Abercrombie trying to sell me some jeans with their fucking titties out, and now all of a sudden they're gone. What happened to them? We got to bring up, dude, did the woke get rid of him? Did cancel culture get rid of him? Were they like, we're sexualizing men? Dude, fuck men, dude. Who gives a fuck about their feelings? I don't even care about my own feelings. Just fucking, okay? Fuck men. I want those fuckers. Listen, you either put Chad, Brad, and Connor with your titties out outside of an Abercrombie, or I'm not coming back. I'm going to protest. I'm going to be outside. I'm like, bring back washboard abs. Bring back washboard abs. That's what I want. Nobody actually wants your fucking clothes. They want hot men with large titties and beautiful washboard abs. I used to love going to Abercrombie. I used to fucking stand outside and just stare at the guys. That's not true, but that's... I'm just kidding, obviously. Actually, that's probably not as obvious as I think it is. I'm not gay, by the way, if you're a new listener. I am straight. I know that it can get confusing throughout the episode as I tend to dance around the line of sexuality, but I promise you I'm straight. Just in case you were wondering. Because if you're a new listener, maybe you want to know something about me. But yeah, put those guys back outside of Abercrombie and I'll buy some more shit. It'll be fun. Anyways, what was I about to do? Well, none of that was in my notes. Let's pull out the notes. Welcome to fucking episode. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. That's not true. I care. I just don't know. You know, I think it's 26. Maybe it is. If it isn't, it's 26. I think we'll start there. Oh my God. Anyways, second week of 2022. We talked about this last week that nothing happened. That was terrible. Obviously, actually, Bob Saget died. That's very sad. R.I.P. Bob Saget. Once again, another person that's not getting made fun of, as the same as Betty White from last week. Betty and Bob, they're fucking chilling up and having together. They're chilling up wherever. They're having a fun little time, and that's beautiful and amazing. We love it. But you know what else I've noticed too is ever since, Betty White obviously died right before the new year, so nobody could kind of blame it on this year. But then Bob Saget died, so now the entire internet is like, great, here we go again, another shitty year. Listen to me right now. Everybody just keeps doing this every single year, and they pretend, this started during the pandemic, right? The pandemic happened, and then everybody was like, 2020 sucks, and then 2021 came around, and then was the Capitol riots right at the beginning of the year, and then everybody's like, great, another shit year all over again, and now it feels as though, you argue with me here if you think that I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I feel like people are almost just now it's getting to a point where people need to have a shitty year. They want to have another shitty year, but they're pretending that they don't. Everybody on Twitter, they're like, great, Bob Saget died so early in the year. Now we're going to have a shit year. It's just because you're saying that. A celebrity died. Yes, it's terrible. It's horrible, but people die every day. You know? Your neighbor next door, their 90-year-old grandma will pass away. And what do? You just go, damn, that's tough, bro. That's tough. Suck it up, kid. And then you just go about your day. But some celebrity you never met dies, and you're in shambles. You're like, God, no! Why? Fuck! Oh my God. Holy shit. I can't do it. I can't live without him. I gotta go to Home Depot and buy a rope. Fuck! Oh my God. How many stories is this building? That should do it. I'm gonna go to the top and jump. Don't do that. I get that these celebrities are important to your lives and things like that, but you shouldn't, and this is kind of a little bit of advice and less of a joke, I guess, but you shouldn't put your happiness on whether or not a celebrity lives or dies one day. It's yes, it's terrible, but you also have to move on with your life and worry about your own mental health. And my entire point of this that I wanted to start it with was that people, right? Now everybody's just looking for a new thing every year to be like, oh my God. And the thing about it is that people act like nothing terrible ever happened before the pandemic. But it was just because now, for some reason, we're so focused on what the media says. Before in the past, we used to be oh, bombing in London. And everybody was like, that sucks. But I don't live there. And then they would just fucking, they would just go about their day. And I'm not saying that worrying about it or not worrying about it is the better response. And yes, it's terrible that people die. Yes, it's a horrible thing. But that doesn't mean you need to sit in your house and be like, why, God? Fuck. Why? You don't even know those people. And I get it. If you live in the city, it's different. New York with 9/11, that's a national tragedy. The Boston bombings, that's a national tragedy. I get the pandemic, national tragedy. A celebrity dying isn't a national tragedy. I mean, I hate to say it, but it isn't. It really isn't. And I'm just trying to help you guys. I don't really know. I'm just not, I'm not here for the negativity. I've decided, I've actually, like, I just don't, like before, like in 2020, like I was like, I realized, or even like before 2020, I realized I used to just be like, negative as shit. Not like verbally, but in my head, I used to like go to school and I used to be like, oh, it's going to be a shit day. And then it was a shit day because in my head, I told myself that it was a shit day. But like now, like I'm just like, honestly, 2022, this is another New Year's resolution I just recently came up with 5 seconds ago. I'm gonna 2022, no more negativity at all. Like I'm not even gonna engage in it. Like not in the slightest. Just yesterday, my sister, she was like getting ready to like argue with me, and I just started walking away. And she was like, "Where the fuck are you going?" And I'm like, I just walked away. That's the crazy thing. People don't get this. Your boss starts yelling at you, just walk away. Also, if you can't get rid of negativity at all, just if somebody hits you with something negative, hit them with something more negative. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody hits you, they're like, "I don't like your outfit." And then you could be like, "I don't like how your marriage isn't working out." And then you just walk away. And then, you know what I'm saying? You just flip it on them. Your boss is like, "Feel like you could do a better job." It's like, "I feel like you could stop smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day and cheating on your wife in the break room," right? I think we could all learn a thing or two from that. Yeah, I think. Then your boss is going to be like, what do you that doesn't happen. And then you got it on camera, and then you could just blackmail him, so you'll never lose your job because you got it on video. And that's a beautiful thing, you know? Video is a beautiful thing. That's why nobody snitched on Epstein, right? That's why. He's probably got videos of all of them. That's why they all go to court, and they're like, that was me on his jet? Fucking Bill Clinton. That was, I've never been on his jet. They show him pictures. I mean, I've been on a lot of jets. I might have flown on his. I don't know. Did you guys see that at all? With like the thing? It's always funny. Or like Bill Gates. Like he was like seen like hanging out with him. And he was like, I've never fucking, who? Epstein? Who's that? They show like a picture of them next to each other. He's like, oh, fucking that Epstein. I thought you were talking about a different one. I didn't know that. That guy. Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. I mean, I know of him. Not a big fan. 1 second. I'm sorry. I know it's in the middle of a bit. Nikki! I'm filming! Trying to make a living. Shut up. Thank you. Sorry about that. My sister just walked in. Every week I tell her. And I'm like, every week. I'm like, listen, 2 o'clock I start recording. 3:30 I end. She goes, okay, I get home from 2:45. I will make noise. Every day at 2:45. She sees our dog. Who's the cute little guy? Who's the cute little guy? She starts screaming. Then I got to yell at her. I got to put her in her place. Which I don't like to do. That's not true. I love doing that. It actually excites me. But, what was I talking about? I think I was talking about spewing negativity. Yeah, just spew negativity. I'm actually going to, you know what I just thought of? My sister actually just got, because I realized I remembered when she was yelling and interrupting my podcast at my job. But anyways, I remembered that the crazy thing about this, or no, the thing about negativity. Oh yeah, I had this thought the other day. It was a beautiful thought. And I'm really thinking about it. I feel like this is a great business venture that I'm gonna go on. And I would love to share it with you guys first, because I love sharing everything with you first, because you are my little eyes and ears. And I love your little opinions. So, hear me out. You know how there's like shirts? Nikki just got one. This is what made me think of it. She got one that says like, you are enough. And it has like sunshine, flowers. It's like, you are enough. You are beautiful. We all know these shirts. We've seen them. Right? And it's great. It's a movement. It's a great thing, you know, practicing body positivity and loving yourself. That's awesome. I want to come in. I want to corner the market here is what I want to do. This isn't funny at all. Don't laugh. This isn't funny. This is a serious thing I'm thinking about. I'm going to corner the market, right? So instead of like, you are enough, my shirt's going to be like, you all right. I mean, you ain't great. You ain't, you know, or like, you are beautiful. Mine's going to be like, you're not, you ain't something special. You're something, but not something special. You know what I'm saying? or like the world needs you in it. My shirt, it's just going to say jump. That's all it's going to say. Oh my God. Jump. Period. That's it. That's it. You are. Wait. Shirts like you are. I'm gonna look up some shirts. Just this is made to make it more fun. Body positive, or no, maybe mental health shirts. Mental health shirts. Let's look that up. This is gonna be great. Oh my god. This one. Maybe their shirt would say, "Take care of yourself." Mine would say, "Start digging that grave." That's. They don't have like skulls on it. It's just like the complete opposite of what they're doing. And some of you might be thinking, Anthony, that's fucked up. Don't do that. That's, it's not okay. You shouldn't say that. Blah, blah, blah. But what you're not thinking is I'm a businessman, right? I don't care about people's feelings, much like Jordan Belfort. I don't care about your livelihood. I just care about making money. All right? So I'm going to make a shirt that says jump. That's honestly my personal favorite so far that I've come up with. Or like another one. Their shirt says never give up. Mine's going to say maybe you shouldn't have started this. Okay? Maybe quit while you're ahead. Okay? Oh my god. Let's do one more. Let me find another one. This shirt says you are bad for my mental health. Oh, that's actually pretty fire. Like, you're just fucking rude to people. You're like, yeah, you're actually terrible for my overall well-being. I don't actually want to have a conversation with you. That's amazing. Actually, that one's, hey, Alexa, shut the fuck up or I will literally drown you in the bathtub. Yeah, that's what I thought, you lazy bitch. That's so, dude, if robots ever get arms and legs, they're coming for me first. Did you hear that? I don't know if you heard the bitch in the corner. I'm not going to say her name because she'll go off. I don't know if you heard her go off initially, but she started saying some crap because she thought I was trying to talk to her, and then I just, that's I do that a lot. It is what it is. Negativity. We're bringing negativity into 2022 is what I've decided. You get away from negativity or you create more of it. And if you're not doing either, then you're not living. You know what I'm saying? If you're not doing either, then you're not living. Put it on a t-shirt, baby. Put it on a t-shirt. Last thing I wanted to bring up here. I know it's been a while. Listen, I am going to do my best. By the way, if you're a new listener, this doesn't really apply to you. I mean, I guess it does. We do questions normally at the ends of every episode from fans. We might not get to questions today. I know that a lot of you hate that and you want to stab me in the throat for it, but sometimes we just don't have time and I ramble on and there's a lot to do, but we might get there. I might do one or two at the end if we have time. Just don't fucking yell at me because I'm a small little boy with feelings and I'm emotional. That's not true. I'm actually very unemotional and it's a problem and I should seek help. But anyways, there's this thing I've been noticing. Anybody on TikTok, you've definitely noticed this. It's been going around. It's like ick. Like everybody's like, they're like talking about their icks. And mostly it's girls. I don't see a lot of guys doing it, but I have been seeing a lot of girls doing it where they're like, oh, the icks that have made me drop a guy. And like initially it started out with like an ick where it was like kind of like, I would be like, okay, that's odd. Like maybe like you saw a guy and you were at a movie with him and then on the first date, he decided that it was okay to credit card swipe his butt cheeks and then stick it up his nose and sniff it. That I can understand. That's disgusting, gross. And I would agree that that's not only an ick, but a lack of hygiene. Anyways, these icks have gotten out of hand on TikTok, like left and right. I just see more and more shit from these people. Like some of these icks, like they're such simple things and they're things that probably everybody has ever done like in their life. You know what I'm saying? Like the icks are just so out of the box that some of these people, I see them pop up on my For You page and they're like, my ick is that when my boyfriend was tying his shoes, his shirt came up his back a little bit and I could see his underwear. That happens to everybody, buddy. That happens to everybody every time in life all the time. And quite frankly, if that's one of your icks, then you just don't deserve love. You know what I'm saying? If that's going to be one of your icks, you just don't deserve love, period. Right? Like there'll be plenty, I've seen plenty of them that are just so out of the box where they're like, yeah, I was going on this date with this guy, and I really liked him, but then all of a sudden, he didn't know there was peanuts in the salad, and then he started like gagging and like choking up, and I was like, babe, you're making a scene, like this is embarrassing. And then he fell on the floor and turned purple and blue, and then the paramedics had to come, and it was like this whole thing, and they had to like put him in an ambulance, and I was like, ugh, sorry, I can't go out with you again. Like, that's gross and weird. Like, you just made a scene in this nice restaurant. Like, that's disgusting. Like, I don't ever want to be seen with you again. Like, the dude was fucking dying. He was having a severe allergic reaction. Whether or not being allergic to peanuts is a pussy thing, it's still an allergic reaction to have, you know? And I swear, dude, some of these girls with these insane icks that are just so, like, simple things that, like, people do all the time. They're like, oh, I caught my boyfriend yawning, and he looked like he was... It looked like he was sucking ghost dick, and I immediately broke up with him. And it was like, what? The guy can't fucking yawn? Or like you like stretch the wrong way. Some of these girls are like, you look like an acrobat, and I'm not into that. And you're done. We're done. No, that's it. I'm convinced that some of these girls with these like absolutely preposterous icks are just like gonna be like they have absolutely no ick with their boyfriend. And then say their boyfriend dies tragically, and then they go to their funeral, and they're looking at him in the casket, and one moment they're crying, but the moment they see the body in the casket, they're like, oh my, is this Victorian England? Why? Oh my God, he looks so pale in there. Wow, I thought I was never going to be able to get over this. That's disgusting. I'm going to be able to move on already. Connor? Yeah, he looks pale and gross and weird and like dead, and that's an ick for me. So I'll hang out with you now. That's okay. I'm totally over him. He's an afterthought. That's disgusting. I don't even want. Please just put him in the ground. That's gross. I don't even want to see it. Like, that's how some of these girls literally are, dude. There's some literally are. And I'm not saying just girls. That's just the majority I've seen. I'm sure there's some guys that have like ridiculous icks as well. I'm sure there's some guys that are like, she breathes kind of loud. And I was like, what do you mean by that? He's like, well, what happened was she was having an allergic reaction. She started breathing really loud. And I was like, and then I was like, that's gross, babe. And she was like, oh, and then she like couldn't even get a word out to defend herself. She was like, I'm like, what are you fucking... God, what do you sound like you're choking on something? Like, this is not, like, we're done. Like, this is gross. And then he's like, turns out she's allergic to shellfish and she's no longer with us. But, yeah, it was just an ick for me, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's just an ick for me, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's just an ick. Anyways, let's get into current events. I know it's been a while. Could have gotten there earlier, but we didn't. We had things to talk about, but we're going to get to current events. But before I do have an announcement to make, by the way, this isn't an ad. This isn't me getting into an ad. It's just me talking. I have an announcement for myself that you should listen to, so do not skip. Anyways, I have an announcement. Kind of makes me feel like a principal at a high school. Everybody in the school, this is your principal speaking. I have an announcement. I will be stepping down from principal because of the fact that I may or may not have had sexual relations with Mrs. Smith. That, yes, your gym teacher. Yes. May or may not have had sexual relations with her. So therefore, coming this Monday, I will no longer be your president. Not coming this Monday, just on Monday. Nobody's coming on Monday. You know, I'm not going to be coming on Monday, or at least in the school. I mean, I might jack off at home, and that's none of your business. You know, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. But I might, you know what I'm saying? Like, we might. Don't even this school. Okay, I should have even said coming, but I just want to clarify now. This school, right? Come free zone. It is not come town, although that is what I like to call Thursday nights with Miss Smith. If you know what I'm sorry, I'm gonna wrap it. Yeah, you want me to wrap it up? Yeah, I'm sorry. So anyways, once again, I will be stepping down, and I would just like to. And if you're wondering, how did we get here, Mr. President? Why did you have to hook up with Miss Smith? And my answer would be to that, and I quote, "Look at that ass, though. Look at that ass, though. I mean, come on. I mean, Miss Smith. Meet me in the parking lot, babe. Anyway, oh fuck, is this mic still on? Sorry. Yeah, have a good rest of your year, kids. Have a good one. That was an interesting. I pulled that out of my ass. I don't know what the fuck that was. Anyways, the announcement that I did want to make was that very soon, I'm giving you a little tip here. Very soon, within the next coming weeks, January, I can promise that much, merch for the podcast. You guys have been on my ass about it for a while. I just want to announce it on here specifically, let you know that merch is in fact coming. It is in fact fire. And I'm pretty sure as in this current moment, I'm only doing one design in like cool lettering, shit like that, like the Kickin cause. It looks dope. It looks dope. Trust me. I wouldn't sell something that I don't think looks dope. Trust me. I've gotten a lot of rough drafts to which, I mean, sometimes you just gotta be straight up with people. It just wasn't, it's not necessarily they were bad. It just wasn't the vision that I was going for. And I may or may not have sent a couple texts that were like, hey, listen, normally they're like, what revisions do you want? And on the ones that they sent me a couple weeks ago, I was like, hey, why don't you just start like from scratch? Why don't we start from the top, right? Or just go back to the bottom and let's start from scratch. Let's kind of regroup this entire thing. Let's kind of just redo like everything because I don't like any of it. So that's kind of what I had to say. So don't worry, it is going to be fire. I just want to let you know that merch is coming out. Obviously, there's going to be other merch coming out as well, not specific to the podcast, but still kind of fire if you want to grab that. But I want to say, as of right now, the podcast merch is just going to be a hoodie. That's all I was thinking of. If for some reason you're sitting there and you're like, I want something different than a hoodie, feel free to DM the podcast over on Instagram at Kickin' It With Kaz. Make sure you follow there too, of course, so you can keep up with questions and things like that if you want to be involved in the questions that may or may not come today. Anyways, yeah, so that's pretty much it, I guess. I just want to let you know. Oh, but yeah, if you wanted something, right now we're just doing hoodies. I believe I'm going to do just for the podcast. The other ones are going to have joggers and stuff like that. But listen, if you're sitting there and you're like, you know what, I kind of want Kicking It With Kaz on some joggers, fucking hit my line, let me know. And if there's enough people that say it, then maybe I'll make it happen, or like a beanie or something like that. But like, if you're gonna come in here and you're gonna request and you're gonna be like, what about tank tops? Like, I'm gonna tell you to go fuck yourself, right? Because that's a realistic and stupid thing to buy, right? Like nobody wears tank tops. Okay, this isn't South Beach. Okay, this is a podcast. This isn't Miami. This is a podcast. This isn't Spring Break 93. This is a podcast. So therefore, we have hoodies, possibly joggers, and shirts. No, not even shirts. Possibly joggers and beanies. That's as far as I'll go. So if you want any of those, let me know. But if you have any other out-of-the-box idea that's really stupid and you know it's stupid, don't ask, okay? We've been over this before. If you got stupid questions, I'm going to tell you to fuck yourself and tell you to kick rocks. Anyways, let's get into these current events that are bubbling over the surface. First things first, this girl, I don't know if you saw this, she's selling her farts for $50K. She was selling farts for $50,000, jars of farts. Like she would fart in a jar and then send it to somebody's house. And then, yeah, whatever. So I initially thought that this was all like a big prank, right? I thought like she was like 50,000 for farts in a jar. I assumed that she was just like buying fart spray, squirting in a can, pop it up, UPS it straight to your house, same day shipping. That's what I thought was happening, because that would be the smart thing to do to scam the living fuck out of people, because why would you fart in a jar every day and send it to somebody's house? Unfortunately or fortunately, I was wrong. And she was eating so many things to make her fart all the time. This sounds ridiculous. Like I am saying this out loud. I'm sorry. This just sounds crazy to me. So she fucking literally would fart in a jar and send it to your house. And so she was eating a lot of beans and stuff like that. And it got to the point where she was eating so many things to make her fart that she thought she was having a heart attack because there was so much buildup. And so she went to the hospital, and the doctor was like, you actually didn't have a heart attack. You just had extreme gas, and they had to give her medication. Now, you're thinking they have to give you medication and not make you fart. What's she going to sell? Instead, now she's selling fart jar NFTs on the internet. And that's, okay? This is what I have to say about this. A lot of you, this is a serious take. Nothing about this is funny. Don't laugh. This is what I feel about the selling fart jars as NFTs. This moment in history, I truly believe this from the bottom of my heart. This moment in history is going to be known in the future and things of that such. This moment in history is going to be known as a pioneer movement into the new age. This is the equivalence of it. This girl selling NFT fart jars this is fucking Bill Gates in his parents' basement. This is Steve Jobs in the garage. This is this girl's Steve Jobs in the garage moment. She's sitting there, but instead of building the first iPhone, she's fucking sitting with her legs above her head, blowing fucking nasty farts into these jars. This isn't funny. Don't laugh. This is serious. This is her fucking starting a bookstore in her parents' garage. This is her Jeff Bezos moment. And this is going to be the pioneering of a new age. And when the schools in the future, 40, 50 years from now, they're going to be like, what marked the beginning of a new age? And they're going to be like, this girl pioneered shit in a jar. She pioneered the shart in a jar. She pioneered bodily fluids for pay. She did that. And we're in a new age. This is it. No, sincerely. If you think this is funny, you're the problem. This isn't funny at all. This isn't a joke. This is serious. This is her Steve Jobs in the garage moment. A year from now, those NFTs are going to be worth 50 grand a pop, and you're going to be like, I wish I bought the iPod when I did. That's what you're going to be saying. But instead of the iPod, you're going to be like, I wish I bought that fart jar with lipstick on it for $200 when I had the chance, and now it's 50 grand. I fucked up. I made a mistake in my life. That's what you're going to be saying. It's going to be the same thing. You know, all the people that are like, I wish I never took that money out of Amazon. That's what you're going to be saying. You're going to be like, I wish I never took my money out of her ass to pay for my fucking... The people are going to be sitting there and going to be like, God damn it. I wish I never took the money out to pay for my grandmother's funeral, and I would have been a millionaire. We could have thrown my grandma down the fucking river, but you know what? You can't. I'll never get back my grandma. That doesn't matter. But you know what I could have gotten back? That $50,000 is what I could have gotten back. Fuck my grandma, dude. Fuck. What is she going to do? Why does she need the money? She's fucking dead. She's dead. She doesn't need the money. You know who does need the money? This guy. This guy should have left my money in those fucking fart jars, man. Everybody told me, you're crazy, man. You're crazy. You know how they all told me? They go, you can't sell books on the internet, Mr. Bezos. That's insane. Nobody's going to buy that. They told me the same thing. They go, nobody's buying internet fart jars. Oh, yeah, who's the stupid one now? I got 50 of those fuckers and I'm a millionaire. What? Who feels stupid now, Mark? Fuck you. That's the world that we're living in, where you could sell fart jars as NFTs. It's a beautiful thing. It truly is. A lot of people see this and they go, we're fucked. I see it and I go, we're saved. This is going to save us. This is going to save the future and our children. One day my kid's going to come home from school and he's going to be like, Dad, look at this new NFT I created. And an NFT that I created, it's gonna be him with his friends and his dicks out. And I'm gonna be like, son, that's child porn. He goes, no, but it's an NFT, so it's actually just art. And I go, rock on, little Timmy, rock on. I give him a fist pound for selling his 8-year-old pictures of his 8-year-old penis on the internet. That's where I think we're headed. If you're curious, that's where I think we're going. And I'm excited for it. And I think it's going to be a good time. And it's going to be really great, man. And really awesome. And super fun where, you know, everybody's going to have pictures of fucking, you know, people are going to be wedding gifting fart jars and turning their anal cavity into an NFT. Just is what it is, man. And I'm going to be touring the country, selling out arenas, doing comedy shows, just using my mouth to make a living, you know? That's an interesting way to call myself to explain to people that I do comedy. That's what I should honestly start telling my family. Like people older in my family who probably don't understand it, because I talked about this at like Christmas, where like, you know, I would say to people, they're like, are you in school? And I was like, no, I have a podcast. And they're like, oh, okay, he's mentally unstable, let's stop talking to him. No. Anytime some old person asks about what I do, they can be like, what do you do? I'm going to be like, I use my mouth to make money. They're going to be like, oh, wow. Apparently those Christian values did not trickle on with him as he aged. He's a fucking prostitute, Bob. He's a prostitute. He is a male escort, is what this man is. Look at him. All you got to do, I'm going to go up to people, like, what do you do? I'm going to be like, I use my mouth to pleasure people. They're going to be like, what the fuck? I'm going to be had a nice dinner with family. What do you do? I use my mouth to make people happy. What? What did you just say? You do what now? I use my mouth to make people happy. Little do they know I tell jokes. What they're thinking is that I suck dick on the corner for $25 a pop. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. I love confusing the old people. I tweeted the other day, which, by the way, if you don't follow my Twitter, it's an absolute giggle fest over there. It's Anthony Cos _ I tweeted. I was like, I'm going to start a rumor, and I'm going to start telling everybody over the age of 70 that an HDMI cord is a level 1 narcotic. You start talking. Everybody should do this, by the way. If you have grandparents like over the age of like 80 who are like, you know, they're there, but they're not all there, this is a fun activity to do. So what you want to do, here is it's a super fun activity to do in your life. And so essentially what you want to do here is you want to go up to them and you just want to start a conversation. You want to be like, you see all those kids snorting HDMI? It's fucking ridiculous. It's going straight to their brain. Every person over the age of 80, A, doesn't like to think they don't know something, and B, always loves to criticize how any drug is ruining society. So literally all you got to do is be like, it sucks that these kids are snorting this HDMI. It's going to kill them. And they're going to go right back at you and be like, it started with the weed. And I told them, my friends all along, they were like, weed is a gateway drug to HDMI, and they never listened. And you're just going to be sitting there having this amazing conversation where they think you're talking about some narcotics that people are addicted to, but you're just talking about how their TV shows a picture on it. That's what's amazing about it. Oh my God. You're gonna be like, you know, Mark in the family, how he's into like that IT stuff. He knows a little bit too much about HDMI, and I'm getting a little bit suspicious of him. Mark and his HDMI, I ask him all the time. I'm like, hey man, how you doing? And literally I go, I swear, call him up right now. If you ask him if he's got any extra HDMI cables, he'll tell you he has a box in his truck. Next thing you know, you're calling up your cousin Mark and you're like, hey, do you have any extra HDMI? And he's like, yeah, I got like 12 cables in the back. Your grandparents will have a stroke. They'll be like, oh my God, he's going to kill himself. What's happening here? I don't know. Oh my God, this fucking HDMI. Somebody needs to make a change. Somebody needs to make a change to this. This is horrible. Him and his HDMI. My God. Do that though. It's a fun activity. Let me know how it goes. Seriously, I want you guys to try it. What else here? This other thing I saw, Elon's robots this is what Elon said. Elon said that his robots are going to be able to develop a personality and become your friend. Elon, first of all, I don't even like actual people, like in general. Like, I don't even like associating with others. So why would I want this robot to be my friend, right? Like, he's like, some people are lonely. I don't like others. I don't play well with others. Let's start there. Why would I want this robot to be my friend? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just at the surface level. Let's start with, I don't actually want any more friends. Like, I got a nice circle of people who I like, and I don't like exchanging people in and out. It's not a thing that I like to do. I like to find, I got my solid people, I got my squad, and that's it. I don't like others. I don't, okay? And that's just, it is what it is. And you're telling me now that these robots are going to have a personality? This is where we're getting into this gray area. Actually, it's not even gray area. It's bright red area that says do not enter, do not push red button. And Elon is doing all three. And he's in this area and he's sitting there and he's thinking, well, if I'm going to make a robot, I should probably give it a personality and emotions. So that what? So that it could learn my weakness? It could learn my weakness, learn my daily activities, and then one night put a knife to my throat? Because that's what's going to happen, Elon. That's what's going to happen. I feel like these current events have been way too current recently. Like, I don't like this. I feel like every week I'm explaining how robots are going to kill us, and then the following week some new billionaire is like, I decided that I'm going to make a robot that doesn't even look like a robot. It looks human. And it's your friend, and it's your wife. And you could have sex with it, but it's not real. At that point, it is. At that point, it is real, though. You know? Also, you know how, like, everyone's trying to, like, create, like, real-life robots? Do you think that Elon's also on the side? He has, like, a side project where he's creating his own little sex robot? I do. I like to think about that late at night because it makes me happy. To think that, you know, everyone thinks that, what's their names? Like billionaires, they're pioneering the new age. Like Elon, they're like, he's pioneering for the future. But then it's like on the side, maybe he's also, you know, everybody's a little selfish. Maybe he's like, goes up to one of his engineers. He's like, hey, I'll give you a $100,000 bonus if you make me one of them on the side that's, he like looks around. It's got a few extra holes in it. You know what I'm saying? They're like, sir, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm talking about putting a fucking pocket pussy in the bottom of it so that I can fuck it. I'm talking about fucking robots. I'm talking about having sex with robots and them telling me that that they like me and not that the name that we gave our child was stupid and ignorant, and not that and not that we set him up for bullying, and not that I'm weird, and not that not that I'm a little odd and off, and not that I'm a bad person. I want them to like me. And then the engineer's like, I'll make you a fucking nuke for an extra $100,000. I don't give a fuck. Right? Fucking the engineer's like, my number was $5,000 and you just offered me 100? Fucking, I will build you AR-15s. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. That's the thing too. Whenever people are like, I hate when people tend to like ignore, whenever like, the government or something like that. Whenever there will be like a rumor about like, oh, the government's making this new fucking bomb or something that could blow up the entire earth if set off. And then people will be like, they're not doing that. People have morals. A lot of people don't. Like, people give people too much credit. People give people too much credit about like how good of a person people are. Like, we go around and we just like assume that most people are good people. Most people have no morals. Like $100,000. Like, I mean, you know, like that girl, $50,000 to sell her farts. I would sell my farts for far less amount of money. I would sell you guys farts for $100 each. And that's sincerely. Like, I mean that from the bottom of my heart, $100, $1,000. My farts are worth $1,000. I feel like I'm worth at least $1,000. So I'll sell if you guys want me to, I will sell my farts for $1,000. I'm not even like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I will genuinely 100% do that. No problem. No questions asked. I'll make it happen. If you want me to make it happen, I will make it happen. Anyways, let's squeeze some questions in because people do get very upset when I don't answer them. That's a good question. This one. If animals were able to talk, which one would be the rudest? That's probably cats. I think in general, like cats just like, you know, they walk around. I feel like you feed cats. You know, cats are just, there's something about them. They're just in a constant bitchy mood. Like, I think dogs would be fantastic. Dogs would be awesome to hang around with. Like, I feel like any golden retriever out there, like you'd be like, they're a good guy. That's a good friend right there. They would stick up for me. But like cats, you kind of like see them and you're like, you know, like you say hi to a cat and they're like, you should fucking kill yourself. And you're like, all right, that's fucked up. You know, the cat, you know, you feed the cat and you're like, do you like the food? And they're like, I don't like how you gained 15 pounds, so why don't you fuck off? How about that? I don't like what's in your hips now, okay? Why don't you fucking feed yourself less? How about that? I feel like cats are just fucking just terrible people. Like absolutely horrible. I feel like cats are just like the dickheads of the office. Just absolute douches, just walk around. They're kind of like the bullies. I feel like they're like the bullies of the animal kingdom. Like you see a cat and they'll see you maybe at like work at like your office or something like that. And like they'll be like, "Hey, dude." They like walk up to your desk. You have like all your pens and pencils all in neat order. And then like they knock them all over and they'll be like, "Think you dropped something." And then just walk away. That's how I feel about cats. Sincerely. That's truly how I feel that they are. This is a stupid question. How did you get your name? Well, my parents were like, Anthony sounds pretty swag. And then my parents went, yeah, it does sound pretty swag. And then I got my name. I'm just kidding. I'm assuming you mean Kaz? Are you asking how I got Kaz? Well, that's pretty simple as well. My full last name is Kozlowski, and I took the first third of that because it's annoying and just a bit of exercise to say the rest of those letters. So I cut it down to 3. Is that what your question was? Either way, that's a stupid question. I don't know. Like my parents enjoyed the name. They were like, we like how that rolls off the tongue. We're going to give that to our child. Like, what did you think I was going to say? Like one day my dad was walking home and he fucking almost fell off a cliff. But this guy named Anthony came out of nowhere with a parachute and fucking saved him and then threw him into a river to save his life. Like, what did you expect me to say? Like, like, did you expect fucking, like, what did you expect? Did you expect me to be like, well, my mom was dating this musician at the time, and then all of a sudden he got hit by a bus full of milk, a milk bus, and then he died, and my mom was like, in his honor, I'm going to name my firstborn Anthony. Like, what did you expect me to say? Right? It's not some touchy story. Most kids, I mean, especially our generation now, like, I feel like probably like maybe not Gen Z, but like millennials and like generations before that, I feel like a lot of the times like you had your name because it was like, oh, well, my great grandpa had this name, or like, oh, well, my mom, it's like long stories. But like nowadays, like Gen Z, they're like, they just like fucking think of something in their head and they're like, fucking yeah, fucking Persuasive Essay sounds like a great name that I want to name my kid. Let's do it. Like nobody actually, you know what I'm saying? Like anybody who's having kids nowadays, I feel like a lot of them, they don't actually put any thought in like what the meaning is. They're just like, fucking, what should we name them? And they're like, I don't know, fucking Cracker Barrel. They're like, God, I love Cracker Barrel. Let's name them that, you little cracker. You fucking Cracker Barrel little kid. Fucking love Cracker Barrel. What should we name him? I don't know. I love fucking half-price apps at Applebee's. You walk up to this kid at school. What's your names? Fucking Wendy's 4 for 4. How are you, sir? Great to meet you. That's just how it is nowadays. That's how I got my name. I didn't mean to be mean to you, but I feel like we could all agree that was a stupid question. And if I misread and misunderstood that question, that's on me. But if you did write this question, that's also on you, right? We've been over this. If you listen to the podcast, right? We've been over it. You ask stupid questions, I'm going to give you a stupid answer. So that's just how it is. Favorite way to die? That's a good question, actually. I feel like most people want to die in their sleep. I feel like that would actually be the worst way. Like I would be genuinely terrified. Like you just go to bed and then you're like, whoa, this is right? Right? Everybody thinks dying in your sleep is the best way to go. I actually disagree because if you think about it, people are always like, oh, they died in their sleep. How peaceful. Do you understand the mind fuck of fucking dying in your sleep? Like, think about it. Think about it. You fucking, right? You go to bed alive. And then you fucking, all of a sudden at some point in the night, you're like, this dream feels really real. And then after a little bit, you're like fucking your soul, your spirit, like you're all of a sudden you're looking around and you're like, wait a minute. And then some, I don't know, some angel or some being or God or, whatever whatever you believe in your head, whatever you believe, put that in your mind, right? Whatever you believe the afterlife is, put that in your mind. Whether you think you see a being, a light, or like some being of some sort. Let's just say a being comes up to you, and you're like, what the fuck? And this person or being taps you on the shoulder, and they're like, you are dead. And I'll be like, holy fuck, what? And then I guarantee there's like a 30-minute to an hour period where you're like fucking just chopping shit with this being because they're probably pretty fucking dope because they run the universe and shit, right? Maybe you're chopping shit, you're shooting the shit with God, and you're like, so wait a minute, I'm dead. And he's like, I don't know how many more fucking times I need to explain this to you. You're no longer living. You have perished from Earth. And you're like, right. So like, when does this dream end? And then he's like, fuck. Oh my God, you want me? And then they show you your dead body in bed, and you're like, oh, fuck, wow, okay, all right, I'm definitely dead. Yeah, that's definitely me. I'm super dead. Wow, that's crazy. Fuck. That's why I feel like dying in your like it's a mind fuck. Like 1 minute, you're just like, oh man, I can't wait for tomorrow, and then you don't actually wake up tomorrow, and then you're like, fucking, what the fuck? What the hell? Where am I? And you're dead. I don't know, man. Anyways, we're going to end the podcast here because I think it's a good place to stop. Listen, first and foremost, I know a lot of you like to click off because it tells me on Spotify it's a steady progression, and then all of a sudden, the last minute, all of you fly away. I have things left to say, you little cunt. Don't leave. First of all, like I said, merch is coming. Keep that in the back of your noggin. Second of all, follow the podcast on Instagram at Kickin with Kaz. Obviously, if you want to stay involved with the podcast and you want to be involved in the questions and possibly get made fun of, that's a great thing. Also, I wanted to add this other thing into the podcast here. Somebody suggested this where every week, I would read a review over on Apple so that, you guys, when you leave a review, you might get it read on here. So I wanted to do that. So I'm actually going to read a review of the podcast every single week, just to of course, because I want to show my appreciation, obviously, because I really do appreciate it, but also some of these reviews tend to be funny. So if you want to write a funny review, I'm all for it, and I'll read the username, whether it's a name or not. I'll just fucking read it out loud, and here we go. This one, I like this. This one's from Lil Potato Wedge. Shout out Lil Potato Wedge. I love Lil Potato Wedges. I'm gonna eat you up. I'm going to eat you up, not in a sexual way. I'm not going to eat you like that, you know what I'm saying? But if you were a literal potato wedge, I would eat you. Just know that. This one, 5 stars. Amazing show is the title. Thank you. Then they go on to say, this is my favorite podcast, exclamation point. Actually, no, I'm not even going to say exclamation point. I'm going to read it how it is. I'm going to read it with the enthusiasm. This is my favorite podcast. Kaz is so funny and entertaining. If you're not super sensitive and looking for a laugh, this is the show for you. Damn right it is. I love you guys. Go leave some reviews on Apple and on Spotify, and we're going to end every episode like we always do with 2 claps and a Ric Flair. So can I get 2 claps and a Ric Flair? Woo! See you next week.